The haunted home, on the other hand, is one of horror's most beloved tropes. Haunted houses will endure as long as horror films exist. Nothing is scarier than a house filled with grief, misery, and ghosts. Strange secrets dwell in dark nooks and cellars for a reason. With that being said, here are the top 10 scariest houses in horror movies. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. The Haunting, 1999. The Haunting, based on Shirley Jackson's book, The Haunting of Hill House, was one of the best haunted house movies before the 2018 Netflix drama series. There have been numerous adaptations. It is extremely adaptable source material. Steven Spielberg collaborated with Stephen King on the initial script, and Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Owen Wilson all landed prominent roles. The film, about insomnia sleep research, went tragically wrong, was blasted by critics, yet went on to become a box office smash. Number 9. The Others, 2001. The Others, which stars Nicole Kidman, foregoes special effects in favor of atmosphere, mystery, and tension. Grace and her 2 children dwell in a country house with a few other guests, all of whom begin to notice unusual occurrences that indicate another family is haunting the place. The Others moves at a deliberate pace and avoids typical narrative devices such as jump scares, instead relying on the individuals to carry the tale. It is effective. Number 8. The Grudge, 2002. Ju-on. The Grudge was released in the early 2000s during a surge of Japanese horror films that frightened audiences and paved the path for American remakes like The Ring and The Grudge. The horrors in the films were based on ancient Japanese folklore, making the unsettling stories all the more real and terrifying. The film is inspired by the terrible urban legend of Kayako, a lady stabbed to death by her husband before drowning their son. It also adopted the notion of Japanese haunted houses. If a structure has witnessed a particular trauma, it absorbs it and returns it to visitors. Number 7. 1408, 2007. 1408 is one of the best haunted house movies based on a Stephen King story. Mike Enslin, a skeptical author of books about supernatural happenings, is played by John Cusack. He receives an anonymous letter on the back of a postcard from the Dolphin Hotel in New York at a particularly low period in his life. Do not enter 1408, the notice adds. Gerald Allen, the hotel manager who tries to warn Mike about the dozens of fatalities that have occurred in that haunted room, is played by Samuel L. Jackson in a supporting role. Number 6. The Orphanage, 2007. The Orphanage is a well-paced thriller that understands the value of letting suspense stew. Rather than relying on quick spurts of dread, the plot builds tension as viewers wait for the other shoe to drop. Laura returns to the orphanage, where she grew up with her husband and son, to open it to a new generation. Laura first recalls her time in the household fondly, but unpleasant flashes of fragmented recollections begin to contradict her perspective. Things take a terrifying turn when her son begins to converse with an imaginary companion who seems strangely familiar to Laura. Number 5. Paranormal Activity, 2007. With its found footage and low-budget cinematic style, Paranormal Activity caught the world by storm. It sparked a new found footage frenzy, similar to the Blair Witch Project in the 1990s, and paved the way for even more experimental films like Wreck and Cloverfield. Despite multiple sequels and spin-offs, the first film in the franchise remains the most horrifying. Katie and Micah get increasingly concerned by what appears to be a supernatural presence soon after moving into a seemingly average suburban tract home. When they attempt to video the thing while sleeping, they are unprepared for the horrible events that ensue. Number 4. Insidious, 2010. Although slightly eclipsed by the Conjuring films, Insidious is undoubtedly James Wan's most horrifying series, with the first 2 installments being particularly outstanding. The narrative of the 2010 release will seem familiar to any horror fan, as a family moves to a new house and begins to experience weird incidents that primarily revolve around their son. Insidious is dramatic and surprising, with terrifying designs for its villains. Insidious is an excellent choice for people looking for a modern haunted house film that is truly frightening rather than merely entertaining. Number 3. The Awakening, 2011. While The Awakening does not take place in a haunted house, it is nonetheless one of the scariest horror films of all time. Instead of a haunted house, a young boy's boarding school is haunted in the aftermath of World War I. The film stands out in the horror genre for its beautiful and bleak atmosphere, which fills you with fear and anxiety without resorting to gore or terrifying jump scares. In a world full of eerie doll houses, toys that move on their own, and hands that reach out from the sea, the post-war fear is tangible. Number 2. Affliction, 2021. If you're looking for haunted house horror films from Indonesia, check out Affliction. Nina may soon discover the truth about her husband, Hassan, who left Central Java to work as a psychologist in Jakarta. Nina, who recently lost her mother, is now concerned for Hassan's mother, Dayu, who is also ill. The family returns to Hassan's childhood house, but there is something wrong. One of the newest films on this list contains a suicide trigger warning, which occurs near the opening of the film. Number 1. The Conjuring, 2013. The Conjuring is a supernatural horror film about a case that transforms everyone's lives. The investigators assist the Perron family, who have recently moved into a farmhouse. Even their dog hates to enter because it is possessed by demonic spirits. This film is based on the same claimed real-life haunting that inspired the Amityville horror franchise, but it takes a somewhat different approach and is nonetheless worth viewing. The franchise also has an unusual romantic subplot that will undoubtedly surprise horror lovers. So guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.